This car is very special to me. I am sure Lexus doesn't even know that. The third generation Lexus GS is one of the very few cars that Lexus designed with their eyes closed. When Lexus was designing this car, they did not take cues from anybody. Zero copy, zero rivalry, 100% creativity. I just love what this car represents. My name is Crank of 234 Drive, and today I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why this third generation Lexus GS would make you very cool in Nigeria. The car is just very special, and there are a lot of things you need to know. Let's get into it. First reason why this car will make you cool is that the design was fresh. I say was fresh because there are a lot of cars that look like this now. Lexus GS gave birth to the L Finesse on Lexus that we have today. The Lexus GS was the first time Lexus tried out their L Finesse design that they are using now. Even up until 2027, they'll still be using the L Finesse. So this car is legendary. Let me show you. You'll notice that the grille is long horizontally, it's shorter here. Then it now rhymes with the quad design headlights. 1, 2, 3, 4, quad 4. It now forms a shape all together. So now you see the L Finesse like this. Do you understand? That is why it pisses me off when I see people trying to upgrade their third generation Lexus GS to have that new Lexus look. That is a very big disrespect to this historical monument. Let me tell you why. When you upgrade your Lexus GS, you make the grills bigger. It doesn't rhyme with the light, so you are disrespecting this car by upgrading. But who am I to tell people what to do to their cars? I'm just a guy, so you don't have to listen to me. But I tell you today, I put it to you today that this design is legendary and it is not meant to be fucked with. The quad headlights, I just really love it. I love it. And also you notice that on the side, it has a fast back design, slightly. So follow my hand. It goes like this, then it just comes back here. This is a fast back design. You see it today on the Honda Accord. You see it on the Mercedes-Benz GT4. You see it on the Audi A7. The Audi A7. You see it on the Audi A7. This is the point where you know that Lexus was going for something. They were trying to get another market that was not existing fully then. You might not notice, but it makes this car drive better. So yeah, I love this fastback design. Also on the tail light, I can see that it has the quad light feature too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quad. This car, I can tag it Lexus GS350 quad power. Quad means 4, not double. 4. I love the design. The second thing about this car that makes you look so cool is that the interior build is very solid. Very solid. Wow. The interior build is very solid. Also, the dashboard doesn't melt. Yay. It's a Lexus, but the dashboard doesn't melt. I told you Lexus built this car from a different perspective. But like the infotainment is kind of old-fashioned. It's really old. So if I bought this car, if I wanted to use this car, I'll change this infotainment to the Android ones we have today. Between 35k and 75k, I'll get one that works where I can connect with my phone. It doesn't have the Bluetooth connectivity. You cannot connect with your phone. So you have to use, like, for instance, in this car, owner uses
the Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
But I must say that the build is very solid. The leather is solid. Also, the sitting position is really nice. Really nice. Like, the visibility is great. There's some things I like about this car that makes it kind of not normal. So yeah, to control the side mirror, other cars will have it, yeah? But this one, you push this button and something drops down. When something drops down, you see that, oh, you can control your side mirror from here, left or right to control your mirror. This is like a, this is like something Audi would do or BMW. It's just not normal. I love it. So yeah, close it and everything is hidden. I love that. Steering has some functions, the mode button to change the mode of your infotainment. Also, when you connect your phone, you can connect your phone but not Bluetooth. You can only connect your phone for calls, not for media player. Also, I love how the gauges is placed. It looks like a sports car. Each gauge has its own circle and it's deep. I just love the design. You can tell that this is a car that was built for a sporty experience. Just an experience, just make you feel like, oh yeah, I can actually feel cool in this car. That's why I said it makes you feel cool. So you can adjust this car seat in 8 ways with this button here, and you can just fit to size here. It can sink inside and make you more comfortable depending on how you are built as a person. It's has ventilated seats. You can see that the seat has like pores. So from here, I can control if I want my seat to be hot or cold. Do you understand? Also, you can see that it has memory seats. You can adjust the seat for 3 people. Person, 1 person, 2 person, 3. So anytime you enter this car, maybe you want to share this car with 3 people, you just do it. So let us check out the rear space. I'm inside now and my head is literally touching the roof. So that means because of the fastback design. But yeah, I'm very comfortable on the left. I'm also very comfortable on the right. But you see this middle seat, the middle seat is calm, like it's broad, it's wide. But this hump here is too high. So I have to fight for space with the person on the left and on the right. So except they are really slim, I will not affect them. But if they need their own space, then there's a problem. This hump is very high. And it's the exhaust that's sitting here. This thing slacks. It slacks like once you, because it's rubber. So once you pull it a lot of times, it slacks. So this one is not more fitting back in. But this one is fitting back in. So just be mindful of that. If you buy this car, don't use this thing too much. If not, you go spoil them. At this point, I must tell you, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That's all I'm saying. Also like, because the more you like, the more other people get to see this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. Let us continue. Third thing that makes this car so cool is the engine is adequate. Just adequate. So this is a GS350. It comes with a 3.5 liter V6 engine. Yeah, so this engine pulls. This engine is alright. If you're going for the older Lexus before 2007, you have the GS300. That is a smaller V6 engine. Then you have a GS430. That is a V8 engine. But for this newer ones, for the 2007 up, you have the GS350 and you have the GS460. So this car has a V8. To tell you that Lexus was very particular about performance on this car. I've driven the V8 one time and it was sucking petrol, like it was sucking fuel, but it was pushing. It did not give me the vibe of like a proper German V8 because this is not a German car. It did not give me the vibe of a proper V8, but I could feel the V8 power. So as if I was driving a Lexus GX460 SUV on a smaller platform. Do you get? So it was a smaller car and just pulling. I love the sound and all, but I would not recommend that you buy the V8 of this car, except you love V8 engines, because that V8 is kind of small. So the way it consumes fuel is not proportional to how it performs. So this is the best option for this car. The GS350 is the best option. Remember I said there's the GS300 and there's the GS460, there's the GS430. But the GS350 is the perfect in between, and that's why I have this one here today. So GS350 is the car you should buy if you want to enjoy all the coolness that comes with the GS350 Lexus in Nigeria, 3rd generation. Every Lexus GS comes paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission that has a sport mode that is quite engaging. I drove it in sport mode and it felt like I was shifting myself. It's a very fun sport mode and transmission is very smooth. The way this car drives is amazing. So the car is stable when you drive at speeds lower than about 150. When you are going up, the engine starts to slow down. The engine is not like, it's not so powerful, it's just about 303 horsepower. So when you get to high speed range, it doesn't move as fast anymore. You get. But when if you want to pull between 0 and about 140, you're good. Because I drove it last night and when I got to about 170 and about 160, it was not pulling anymore. Do you understand? So it cannot give you top end speed. There's no top end speed in this car. But the stability is there. And this one is an all-wheel drive version, meaning you have more stability. There's the all-wheel drive version and there's the rear-wheel drive version. But you need to know something. The owner of this car, one time we were driving together and he was speeding really fast. Then we got to a corner and there was sand. So anything that makes this car to slide off the road, you might have a very hard time trying to countersteer and balance it back on the road because of the weight. So once it swings, the weight is so much, it swings the car away. So you have to be very careful with this car. You can take corners, but make sure you're not exceeding speeds that will make the car lose control. You don't want to lose control while you're in a GS350. You can see how low it is, very, very close to the ground, very close to the ground. So areas with bad road, this car doesn't work, just so you know. I don't have to tell you, you already know that it doesn't work. So let us move on. Let me tell you the fourth thing about this car that I love, that makes it so cool. This car would make you stand out easily. Not like this car like the maddest car around or the maddest Lexus around, but like it is a Lexus, and Lexus is very common in Nigeria. But with the GS350, you won't see it everywhere. Like you still stand out. You bought this car and you are still standing out. Do you understand? Like everybody comes to the party with a Lexus IS or the Lexus ES or the Lexus RX, but with the GS, it is not common. So when even your babes or your guys see, you'll be like, which car is this one? It's Lexus, but someone has a different feel to it. Do you understand? And with this quad design on the front and on the rear, do you understand? So I feel like you stand out a lot in this car. So if I was going to buy a Lexus today, so this might take us into number 5. This car is very affordable and it is valuable too. It has a very good resale value. If you buy this car, you can easily resell it the next day. It's very easy to sell a Lexus GS in Nigeria, so don't worry. You buy it at like maybe 4 million naira, you can resell it tomorrow at like 3.2 and stuff after using it for a while. I meant tomorrow, I didn't mean tomorrow like tomorrow, I mean like tomorrow like the future. So yeah, this car is very affordable and it has a very good resale value in Nigeria. If it is neat though, if it is neat. The cost of this car is between 3.5 and 4.7 million naira for the Tokes. It's not even 4.7. Between 3.5 and 4.2 million naira, you buy this Lexus car for the newer year, that's the 2010 and 2011. If you want to buy this one is the 2007 model, so you can buy this one for like maybe 3.2 or 3 million naira. If you want to buy the Nigerian one, you buy between 2 million naira and 3.5 million naira. At that price, you're getting a very good bargain for exclusivity. Do you understand? Because you're not going to see it everywhere. So I really love that the car is not popular and all of that. So what are the most common problems you encounter if you own the Lexus GS 3rd generation in Nigeria? Let's do it. The first problem is that at very high speed, the dashboard rattles. It's a Lexus still, so when I shake it for you now, you see that there are some lapses, like some things will not be shaking. It's not solid. I thought the Interior is solid though, based on standard, but yeah, it rattles at very high speed because the engine is shaking and the car is feeling it, so that's the first problem. Second problem is that this car, you have to be very careful. The electricals are kind of delicate. Not like they are delicate to a bad end, but they are delicate to the point where you start to see light on the dashboard. Then they now start saying, the light doesn't matter. Mechanic will tell you that, oh, the light doesn't matter. But if you have OCD or you just like things to be the way they are supposed to be, you'll have an issue with this car because your VSC light is on, this light is on, this light is on. And they'll fix the issue. Your car will be okay. Then the same light will come up again in like 2 days. The leading cause of this dashboard light is that in the market where they sell spare parts, the ECU that they sell for this car is not the correct one for it. Maybe they put a GS300 ECU for you or another year model ECU. It's going to work, but it's not communicating properly with your engine. So you'll be having dashboard light issues. So yeah, dashboard light issue is a very common thing on this car. I don't want to say ignore it because you're not supposed to ignore it. But if you fix the problem and it keeps coming up again, the light keeps coming up and it keeps scanning, you clear it, it comes up again, then I think you just bone it, man, because you cannot kill yourself really. And the third problem is that the brakes of this car are not so great on high speed. This is not the car you slam the brakes at high speed. This is not that car. This is not that guy. You cannot do that stuff with this car. So yeah, the brakes fade also at high speed and they get hot. It is no longer responsive. So if you have this car and you're speeding, make sure that the road you are speeding on does not need you to do some emergency braking. Because if you have to do emergency braking, you'll be disappointed. You have a very rough landing with this car. It is not smooth when it needs to stop at high speed. So you have to be very careful about that. That's the third problem. The fourth and the last problem I feel that this car has is that the parts are not as cheap as you'd expect. Or they are not, yeah, the parts are not cheap basically. The headlight for this car is 140k. The bumper is 80k. Do you understand? So the parts are kind of up there because it's not a lot in Nigeria. Lexus ES parts are even cheaper than this one because all these parts guys know that if you are driving the Lexus GS and you really like it, so they will sell the parts at prices that they just want to sell it because they don't sell it every day. Yeah, so that's all about this car. It is not a problematic car to me. The car works. So what is my final conclusion? My final conclusion is that it's just a very good stepping stone. So buy the car, enjoy it and feel it for a while, then you can move on to maybe a Benz or a BMW. But this car is a proper background, a proper platform to learn how to treat premium cars. Do you understand? So yeah, I love the Lexus GS. Although it looks very masculine, like it doesn't look like a car that babes will love. So yeah, that's all. Yeah. See you next time and thank you for watching this video. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Kwegan, behind the camera. They can't see you, but I can see you. He just told me to get lost. I don't know why it's being mean, but yeah. My name is Crank as usual and we love you. 234 drive, baby. I need to dip, man. I need to dip.